Sick of people at ESPN or Sports Center who think they have their head on their shoulders, but they don't. Well, it's time for the Jimmy the K Sports Show, and we are going to small town lowdown with the latest sports news. Now it's time for Jimmy the K Sports Show. We are live and edited and giving it to you now. Here we go, boys! How are y'all doing today? I am Jimmy the K, the host of your show. I hope you like that introduction that we've added to the show. We're trying a little bit to mix things up here and there. All kinds of great things going on in our sports world. I really want to let you know that tonight's show is probably going to be abbreviated because my beloved Oklahoma Sooners are playing the Tennessee Volunteers right now, and I'm somewhat interested in that game as the game's either 13-0 or 17-0 right now. I'll definitely get into sports scores and highlights and stuff like that here in a few minutes. But we've got all kinds of sports news that we definitely need to go over in somewhat of an abbreviated show this evening. I want to thank you, the listeners, for stopping by each and every week, as you always do. And want to encourage you to send your messages, send your comments, send your tweets, your Facebook messages, your IMs, whatever you want to call them. Send them my way. Your questions, comments, you know how to do that. I want to go ahead and start with some funny news, actually. I started off by telling you it's going to be an abbreviated show because my beloved Oklahoma Sooners, and now stepping into that light, there's a report going around the NFL right now that Bob Stoops, the head coach of the Oklahoma Sooners, is going to be a hot commodity going into this NFL season, going into 2015. One of the teams that they've speculated that could definitely use his knowledge and his sports, his football knowledge is the Dallas Cowboys. As Jerry Jones has been known to give coaches like Bob Stoops whatever they want, and a helicopter, a jet, whatever the heck they want, he gives it to them. But my question is, will Bob Stoops take a deal like that? This has been going on for the last 5-7 years. Ever since he won the national championship back in 2000, there was rumors going around every year that Bob Stoops was going to go to an NFL team and coach the NFL. But Bob Stoops has continually said that he loves the state of Oklahoma. He loves the Oklahoma Sooners and really does not want to go anywhere else. He loves the Oklahoma program and wants to continue to build and strive on championships with the Oklahoma program. So with that being said, do I think Bob Stoops at the end of the season will wind up the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys? No. Do I think he's going to wind up a head coach anywhere in the NFL? No, I do not. I do not think he's going to wind up a head coach anywhere except for the Oklahoma Sooners in 2015 and beyond because he still has got a contract to live up to. That's along the funny lines. Going another aspect of a different sport, that's Major League Baseball. The Texas Rangers, in a report earlier this week, said that they are trending towards rookies. This totally goes against the statement that John Daniels said at the All-Star break that they were not rebuilding. I understand that the Texas Rangers are hurt right now. They've got a plethora of injuries and things that need to happen, and that's the reason why they've got so many rookies. But yet, his statement somewhat is not true because he's got rookies pitching when there are younger pitchers that have been in the league longer that are, at some point you've got to stop with the excuses. At some point you got to stop with the excuses. I have to give kudos to my boy Derek Holland last night, though. Pitching against the Atlanta Braves, 1 run on a few hits, 6 strikeouts, lights out. Derek Holland threw 3 starts this season. First 3 starts, 7+ innings, 21 innings pitched in those games. No walks, 18 strikeouts, I believe. and an ERA of like .7 something. It's something very ridiculous. And I have to give kudos to Derek Holland. He's the only Ranger pitcher that hasn't complained about anything yet. You know, he tripped over his dog, went through rehab, did what he needed to, and now he's helping the team get victories. Am I happy about that? Definitely. On a sadder note, there are reports out. One of the writers over at Texas Rangers fan Facebook group, Ben Crosby, I believe his name is, had a site up that basically said the reason for Jon Daniels leaving, and this is still speculation. We don't know. Not Jon Daniels. Ron Washington will definitely tell us in the future when him and his family have dealt with this situation, was that his resignation was due to a fact of some sexual allegations brought on by an Asian reporter. Now, whether these are true, I don't know. That's why they're allegations right now. And you know, it's the same as, you know, the argument the game before that Washington and Jon Daniels had. All speculation. They're allegations. We won't know until the fat lady sings, so to speak, and she ain't sung yet. Back on a little bit of Ranger stuff. Well, it's not Ranger. He's a former Ranger, Chris Davis. We called him Crush. Has been suspended 25 games. That's including the rest of the regular season and playoffs for amphetamine use. In baseball, you have to have a prescription for every drug you take. Over-the-counter is not over-the-counter in baseball. Over-the-counter is what they call performance-enhancing drugs. And amphetamine would be basically like a Tylenol. Something you don't need that's over-the-counter that you can get. Chris Davis had said that he had permission from Major League Baseball in years past to use this. This season, he did not have permission to use it. He has admitted it. He's admitted his mistake and has said that he will deal with his mistake and serve the suspension and not appeal. With that being said, what other news is going on? Ray Rice was cut by the Baltimore Ravens, and now his wife, his alleged abuser, has come out and said that no one gave tapes to anybody. It was not domestic violence. It was some type of foreplay in an elevator. All I can say is these are allegations right now. I know nothing beyond that, but she has come out and said, hey, you know, the NFL didn't get the tapes. You know, the tapes, definitely not from me. Somebody else had to have given those tapes to you. And sure enough, a media outlet who will remain nameless right now said, yes, we acquired tapes in our manner, whether it be legally or illegally. They did not state that. I said that. Whether it be legally or illegally. And we turned those over to the authorities, and Ray Rice, we got him in trouble, and we're feeling good about ourselves. Well, this certain media outlet is the typical media outlet that gives that wants political correctness in everything, especially the administration that we've got right now. You know, not knocking the administration. I'm not Democrat nor Republican, nor will I tell you I'm either or, because this is not what this show is about. But this particular news feed is politically correct and wants to go with one side of the fence rather than the other side of the fence. And and they're known to do things quite illegally to get the point across that they want that story. Um, they've got so many lawyers and so many judges in bed with them that they're getting away with it. I don't condone it, nor will I condone it. But do I condone what Ray Rice was doing? No. I'm not saying that I condone what he did, but if it was some type of foreplay in the elevator, um, you know, there's all types of foreplay. You know, maybe your wife likes it rough. You know, maybe she likes it rough. This is definitely not what this show is about, but maybe your wife likes it rough. Maybe your girlfriend likes it rough. I don't know what everyone's circumstances are, but maybe they like it rough. So maybe you spank them a little bit. Maybe you hit them with your hand. Maybe you spank them with a belt. Maybe you hit them with a switch. We'll get into that in a couple more minutes. But there's different aspects of foreplay, and whether it be foreplay or the real thing. If it was the real thing, I'm not going to condone it. But if it was foreplay, it's a married couple or a boyfriend and girlfriend, creating foreplay in an elevator that was going to wind up in the bedroom. And so what? It's none of your business, media. It's none of your business, NFL. Get over yourselves. Now, along those same lines, I just mentioned a switch, didn't I? Adrian Peterson, the former running back for the Oklahoma Sooners, now the running back for the Minnesota Vikings, was indicted a couple of days ago, if not yesterday, for child abuse. My understanding was that he used a switch on his child. There was marks on the child's legs that were open. I'm not going to condone what Adrian Peterson did. If it was abuse, key word, if it was abuse. But you have to understand, if you've ever spanked your children, especially younger children, even older children sometimes, they have a tendency to squirm and move. And if you're spanking them, maybe whatever the swats are, 5 swats for lying, 10 swats for hitting, or whatever your rule of punishment is, that child squirms. I've squirmed in the past. My mother, when I was younger, spanked my bottom with a belt, but when I went down, it wound up across my back. Yes. Was that abuse? No, it wasn't. It was me trying to avoid that the belt hitting my butt, and instead my back got it. So it wasn't abuse. In this case with Adrian Peterson, I do not know all the circumstances, but I do know children squirm. So if you're spanking or switching or whatever you want to call it, your child, and that child squirms and it hits a leg or it hits an arm, whatever it hits, that's not the butt area, that cannot be considered abuse, nor shall it be considered abuse. All right? Your child is creating the squirming, the moving. They need to stay still. All right? I'm not condoning what Adrian Peterson did. He turned himself in today. So, we'll let the authorities deal with it. If the child truly understands that dad and mom, Mr. and Mrs. Peterson, love him, then that child's going to say, Mommy and Daddy love me. They were spanking me. I made a couple of bad moves. I was squirming around. And the authorities will be like, oh, it happens. And yes, it does happen. Believe me. It's happened to people that I've known before. A mother saw another mother spanking a child in a store or something along those lines. The mother went up to her and said, I'm calling CPS. The mother pulled out a card with a CPS number on it and said, go ahead, call them. By the way, here's my address. Have them come on over. A day or two later, CPS shows up. They questioned the children. After that, CPS left, said the children love the parents. We can't take them out of the home. Were those children spanked? Yes, they were very well spanked. But they knew that the parents loved them. There's a difference between abuse, a difference between disciplining, whether it be spanking or whatever. There is a difference. All right? There's a total difference between the two. A total difference. With that being said, I'm going to conclude this show. As I said, a little abbreviated tonight due to a football game that I definitely want to catch up to and see who's winning. I thank you, each and every one of you, for coming out each and every week. I really do appreciate it. I really, really do. And hope that each and every one of you will come back every week. You know the ways to get in touch with me. 3 simple ways. You can email me at allaboutsportszone@gmail.com. allaboutsportszone@gmail.com. Or you can like us at Facebook. /allaboutsportszone. Or you can follow us at Twitter at JimmyKersey1. Until next week, 8 p.m. Central Daylight Time, I am Jimmy the K. I am sending you Maps by Adam Levine. Find your way back to me each and every Saturday, 8 p.m. I'm Jimmy the K. Until next week, peace out.